Good evening. We are finished for the day. Put my bones pipe. We've got Smiley and his dream in it. 20 to 6. A little beer, some melodies. We've stopped in this beautiful spot at the junction. So we've just come up that one from Droitwich. And we're heading that way up to the 32 steps flight of locks, and that one down there goes back to where we got the boat from, so the big loop. So we've had a bit of an adventurous day. This is just the introduction to it, so I'll keep it short and sweet. If you want to watch everything, watch everything. If you don't, you don't, do you? But I think people are quite interested, so there wasn't going to be a series, which turned into a series. And I've got my Peaky Blinders hat on. That's for Stu. Piper Stew. Right then, mate. So, your brother's not called Tommy. Right. So anyway, enough of that. Well, yeah, we've had an adventurous day, and you'll find out what goes off as you watch the videos. It was supposed to be relaxing, but it didn't turn out relaxing. So enjoy and watch. Happy smokes, and look after your family. Morning. We've set off this morning. We had a bit of a late start this morning. Nice. Well, Mrs. Trucking had a lay-in. I was up at my usual 5 o'clock. So caught up on a few videos. So that kept me busy for a fair few hours till she got up. So it was a long day yesterday, but we're on this beautiful stretch of canal. And I'm still breaking it in. Got some Old Dominion. Stunning stretch of canal lace. This is what I was hoping for. And I'm at the front of the boat now, obviously. You can hardly hear the engine. It's like silent. I've just come through one of the first locks, which was beautiful. Bit of a tale to tell. So this morning, a bit of a disaster. I don't know if you remember, I dropped my Peterson pipe in the river at the Norfolk Broads because I was wearing my smoking cardigan. So this morning, I'm wearing my smoking cardigan. We've got some pictures. And I was just tapping me pipe out because I'd had a pipe, so just tapping the dregs out, and as I bent over, out flew out the pocket Mrs. Trucking's reading glasses and my phone. So fortunately, Apple phones, a bit of advertising, other phones are available, are waterproof for a certain period of time. That's the canal. Rather murky, can't see a thing. Watch the phone plunge into the water. Got no choice, got my shorts on. Went in, it's probably about, I don't know, just under 5 foot deep. Chances of finding it pretty damn slim. Paddled about in my feet, so obviously 4.5 foot below me is my feet and the bottom of the canal, which is extremely muddy, and I could feel something. First thing that came up was a can of paint, just a little one. It was like, oh, that feels like something hard. And then fortunately, within a few minutes of just tapping about on the bottom of the floor, I pulled up a few sticks. My phone. So managed to get my phone from the bottom of the canal when we've dried it out a bit. We've got some buzzards flying about here. There's one there and another one up there. So You'll know what buzzards are in this country and in the States and everywhere else. Big bird of prey type thing. Common as muck now. They didn't used to be, but they are. They're as common as muck. Everywhere. When I was 18, there were hardly any. So I managed to get my phone out of the canal. So Mrs. Trucking took some photos of me on my exploits. So that was oh dear me. And I don't think I swore. I could have sworn, but I didn't swear. And by chance, luck, I managed to get it back, which is not such a big inconvenience. So it's had a bit of drying time. Look at this. I could do this forever. If there were no more boats about and villages and towns, this would just be my absolute ideal. I'm sure at some point we'll come across. Well, we need to get some more reading glasses for Mrs. Trucking now, because we didn't get them back. Yeah, lovely, just lovely. So we're heading, this is the Droitwich Canal, which was, up until, I think it was 2012 they restored it, I think. It was on that information board, £12.5 million to restore this stretch from the River Severn across to Droitwich, which links back into the Worcester and Birmingham Canal. So redigging it all, opening it all up, getting it watertight, redoing all the locks that are on it, which will have just fallen into rack and ruin. And it's a massive thing that the River and Canal Trust do with volunteers, getting it rebuilt, reopened, and they're still working on many stretches of the canal system which fell into disrepute and rack and ruin when they weren't being used. The main canals stayed open, but these sort of side ones were lost for many years. So guys, that'll do for that bit. I'll just show you what happened with the phone. Alright, take care. Bye bye. Green woodpecker calling them. Wood pigeons. As Ratty said to Maul, Simply nothing better than messing about in boats. Stunning. There's loads of mistletoe around here. You can see that in that willow tree. Mistletoe. I've seen it in the trees in quite a lot of places. Never seen it in a willow tree before though. Favoured by the Druids for its medicinal and magical properties. And ducks. Stunning lock. Stunning. There's always been a Baggins living under the hill at Bag End. And that's the closest I've ever seen anywhere like the Shire with a hill, with a tree. I had to video that. So lock number 6. Big heavy ones, these bad boys. And then at the side of it here, I like this. These have got regulators on, so the canal has to have the same amount of water in all the time. So they'll put water in at the top from the reservoir, miles and miles away. If there's obviously too much water in the canal, it comes down the sidey bits, drops into the next part. So that looks ace, I like it. And that regulates the level of the water in canals like. Hey up everybody, we've stopped for lunch in this beautiful spot, heading towards Droitwich Spa. So, bit of useless information for you, or it might not be useless for your history buffs. So Droitwich, 2nd century Romans, so 200 AD, the Romans found salt there. So they started to dry salt out. Now we're nowhere near the sea, we're in the middle of England. That industry developed and developed all the way through until the last salt extraction took place in 1975 on Christmas Eve. So before that, obviously through the Middle Ages and everything else, they used to pump out the salt streams from under the ground and make salt, and at its peak it was producing 120,000 tons of salt, which is why the canal system links up, because that's how they used to transport the salt in the later years. And then the bloke that owned the salt factory business then moved it to Stoke, and turned Droitwich into a spa town. So in the Victorian years, they found that taking a bath in salty water out the ground was really good for you. So it became a posh Victorian spa town. So, bit of info for you there. And the other thing is, I found a new love in tobacco of vapors. Really enjoying them. So, I'll chuck that on end. Alright. I found that quite interesting about the salt. Underground salt streams. What's that all about? Anyway, that'll do. Ta-da. Right then. This is complicated. Look, we've just come up a staircase, look, where you enter water into water into water, and it's just like, whoa, couldn't video it. Way too complicated. And then we're doing, I might be breathing heavy because I'm running about doing this. We've just done that lock coming off the canal, then into this pond, and then we come into this lock, but then, so you don't drain the water out of them ponds, you use these here, the water in there, which then fills the lock up, but when it reaches a certain level, you then have to fill it from there. And we've had to do that on that one, and then we'll do it again in that one. It's just a wicked piece of engineering how they came up with all this stuff. Just thought I'd let you have that bit of info. Deep down there. Right, seen a bit. Madness. Love it. So that's the pond. We're going to fill that up with. See if I can do this. Put the windlass on. Might not be able to do it with one hand. Always can. There we go. Sure. How deep this is. Water comes out this side pond, so you don't drain. I mean, I've said this already, like, but you don't drain all that out, because then eventually, if only boats are coming up, you won't get any water going down, so the pools would empty out. I'm about ready for parking up and having my tea. I don't know how much longer we've got. It's supposed to be a relaxing day today. I don't think you can relax on canals. So we're at the top, waiting for this boat to come down. I need to empty this, guys, if you don't mind. You know what I mean? Oh. Oh. I think Mum and Dad are protecting our little bambinos. We don't want to get hit by a swan. That'll do. You alright laughing? He's seen size on him. Oh, we're at the top. And that is that. Find somewhere to moor. Tea, pipe, whiskey, bed. Bet you're knackered, Babby, aren't you? All right. We'll have a nice, relaxing, steady day today. I'm knackered. Going on my gravestone. Told you I was tired.